Whew, that wasn't easy either. When goods that are most needed. Oh, is that what I did? When goods that are most needed by consumers are hoarded. That doesn't really. Hmm. Yeah, see, I shouldn't have helped you guys. I don't think that made things easier. All right, let's try this one. The heat-resistant tiles had to be redesigned and replaced because their surfaces had been bombarded by micrometeorites. So here everything's passive. This B goes with replaced. Be redesigned and be replaced, even though it's only there once, but it does go there. So we just have to design. We just have to decide who's redesigning and who's replacing. Well, let's make something up. When engineers, oh, the heat-resistant tiles had to be redesigned and replaced because their surfaces had been bombarded by micrometeorites. Okay, so let's say the engineers had to redesign and replace the heat-resistant tiles because, and now we're going to move this around. Instead of surfaces had been bombarded, we're going to say micrometeorite. We're going to move this to the front and say because meteorites bombarded, and put it into the active, their surfaces. I think that'll work. The engineers had to redesign and replace the heat-resistant tiles because micrometeorites bombarded their surfaces. Okay. I could also see, putting this first because micrometeorites bombarded the tile surfaces. Yeah, I don't know. So I had to be redesigned turned into. Now I know that looks like this is now the past. It's not past. I mean, it's now the infinitive, but it's still just the active voice. Had to redesign and replace is now active, and then and now bombarded is active, right? So we got all this. Oh, except I'm supposed to make it italics, aren't I? Sorry. Yeah, like that. There we go. Okay, and one more. The different planes of the painting are immediately noticed because their colors are set against the background of subtle shades of gray that are laid on in thin layers that cannot be noticed unless the surface is examined closely. Woo, that's rough, huh? Okay. Well, I'm just going to jump in, all right? So the different planes of the painting are immediately noticed. Well, who notices them? We don't have a subject. So I'm just going to put one in. Let's just say the viewer, okay, the person looking at the painting. The viewer, what happened here? How come I have a different, what's this? That's Cambria and this is Helvetica. I don't know how that happened. That's time, Jesus. Here, let's try this. Okay, I don't know. So anyway, oh well, we'll leave it like that. So the viewer, and then say notices, and then we'll put the different planes of the painting after that. So we reverse that. We've added our subject and then put that. Notices the different planes of the painting because are set against the background of subtle shades. Who sets them? Because the painter, I'm going to say, the painter has set, or no, sets, I don't know if I like that, sets the colors against a background of subtle shades of gray that I'm going to call the painter a she, lays on in thin layers that now we need that cannot be noticed. We need a viewer again. So we're going to say that the viewer cannot notice unless she examines. So instead of the surface is examined, we have the viewer examine. She examines the surface closely. Okay, so our noticed becomes notices. Our set becomes sets. Our laid on becomes lays on. And be noticed becomes notice. And is examined becomes examines. Does it make any sense? The viewer notices the different planes of the painting because the painter sets the colors against the background of subtle shades of gray. That she, now the problem that she lays on in thin layers that the viewer cannot notice unless. Now there's a problem there because I've got the painter and the painting. Here's a case where I find this very hard to do, and I think this is better. I think that may be the case up here as well. On number 2, the one I had trouble doing, I really think there's no better way to do it than the way it's done. So I think the point here is that, sometimes you just have, you got to use the passive to do certain things because we really don't want to know here who the painter is. We don't really. We're talking about the painting. I'm trying to think if there's another way I could do it. The viewer notices the different planes of the painting because, well, I guess you could say the painting. Let's try that. I mean, not the paintings actually do anything, but I guess I could try that, see if it sounds funny. The painting sets the colors against the background of subtle shades of gray. I don't see how to do that, Yeah, you've got to have a painter in there somehow. I mean, you could say it again, the painter lays on, it's kind of repetitive. The painter lays on in thin layers that the viewer cannot notice unless she examines the surface closely. That'll work, I guess. The viewer notices the different planes of the painting because the painting sets the colors against the background of subtle shades of gray that the painter lays on in thin layers. Oh, but look, we got that. Oh, that's horrible. Okay, I'm going to stop there. That is a grammatical sentence, but it's a really ugly sentence. And so, for whatever reason here, even though all this was passive and this is active, this in this case, unless I'm messing up, this seems way easier to understand. Though actually, it's not easy to understand either. That's kind of just a difficult concept. So we're pushing it here. If we're having this kind of trouble with these, I think you'll find that now working on your sentences will be not so bad. Okay, so that was a tough one. I agree, and I'm still kind of struggling with some of these. So okay, thanks. Take care. Bye, y'all.